Okay, guys, here we are again with Timo Tolkki and with Wi-Fi. So hopefully this time would be better in terms of connection and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him a question about. It wasn't a real question. It was just commenting his apologies to Timo Kotipelto. It was 2 days ago. So it was saying something, but we couldn't hear properly. So if you want to start from there.
The very reason is really basic. If you hurt your brother, you apologize, right? And in many different ways I've done it, and we both know people doesn't have to know, don't really, have to go there, but it's between me and him. And this is basically for me and him, for my soul, and I hope his soul too. And I really think it feels in some vacuum, from the Strato fans, because there have been a lot of stuff said that they are probably worried and also like thinking what is going on, So at least I hope it explains some of the stuff, along the years from my side.
So you feel better after this?
Yeah. It's really, I feel good about it. I had to do this really. So I really, like I said, I really was really thinking hard before I did it. It was not just some spur of the moment thing, I've been doing this for a long time. I did apologize him 2 years ago face to face, but it was like, I'm sorry kind of thing, just, and this is really extensive, I really say, So pretty much 2 years I've been thinking about this after I met him,
What's gonna happen between you two now? What do you think?
I really don't know. I mean, I've done my part, and I think it's up to Timo now. Whatever he wants to do, how he feels. I don't want him to do anything he doesn't want. He has to think, what he needs to do. If nothing, I mean, I'm fine now. I did what I had to do,
Yeah.
And that's, I can look to the mirror and be happy about this.
And you said that it wasn't for a purpose, for a reunion or anything like that. So
no way. I mean, this is there are some, of course, always. But when I look at the comments, there's not even one negative comment in there, And then reunion. I said constantly in the press that there will not be a reunion. On the contrary, what everybody thinks, it's not going to be like that. If ever anything, I mean, we have our own careers. The guys work on their new music. They are on the right track. If we one day do something together, that's really not reunion. Nobody will ever be fired anymore from Stratovarius. That's for sure.
Okay. Thank you for this, Timo.
Yeah.
And as an old Stratovarius fan, it was good for me to hear this.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's good for everyone involved here.
Yeah.
I really think so.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a very good message or apologies or
But this sun is coming. I mean, very funnily, most of the criticism has come from my very closest people, like my mother. It's like, I don't understand, but people see things in different way, and you need a lot of humility and humbleness to do this kind of thing, when it's genuine. And
the way it was written, it was very genuine and heartwarming.
Exactly. So, but there you go.
Criticism because it was so open. So
it's always the mother, said Freud. So.
Okay, thank you again for this. So if you want, there are questions from...
No, but I should really say that my mother is a saint. This is just a joke. She went through hell and she raised up me and my brother alone. And she gave me everything I needed. So I cannot say nothing bad. It's just my stupid humor that gets me into trouble many times that I have to learn.
I'm sure she will forgive you for this.
Yeah, I know.
So, first question from Marco Gianni. What was the heavy metal scene in, sorry for the pronunciation, Nurmijärvi? Nurmijärvi, your hometown where you were a boy, talking about your first bands like Antidote and Thunder and Roadblock.
Well, Antidote was never my band. Funnily enough, I was yesterday in this record release party, and that was like this Nino guy, my friend, and it was his band. I did engineer their demos, and I played one gig, but it was never my band. I mean, the scene was that there wasn't any. There wasn't any scene. I was like 13. I was listening to Ozzy, Black Sabbath, Gary Moore, Van Halen, Iron Maiden, all these bands, and Def Leppard, and there was no scene in Finland at that time. Nothing like that. It was just records. You bought records, vinyls, those days, and they just formed a couple of bands, and I wrote some songs like Rainbow, like real copy songs of like Rainbow, and then we did gigs around Helsinki, these youth centers and stuff, and kind of could see that there's I was like 16 or so, 15, 16 or something like that. And pretty quickly we noticed, for example, it's a really cool way to get girls when they have long hair and play guitar.
Yes.
It was kind of this kind of admiration thing that you're on the stage and people look up to. That's kind of what we do, I guess, we musicians, that we need to be admired somehow. At least at that time, I had this for sure. And then, Thunder was one band. Roadblock was with Tuomo Lassila, this Stratovarius drummer. I think he was actually singing in that band.
While he was playing drums?
No, he wasn't drummer in that band. That's a weird thing. He was singing.
Oh, okay.
There was a different drummer, and that's how I met him.
Okay.
So then he called me like 83 to join the Stratovarius, or 84, something like that. But there basically was no scene. Yeah. We made the scene somehow.
So, question from Michele Romano. Do you remember some anecdotes about the Avantasia project in your period of collaboration? I think you were in the first 2 records, right?
I think I am on the first. I don't know if I'm on the second. I mean, people tell me that I am, but I don't remember it.
You are on the second? So you are in the Tower, if I remember well, in the first one. Last song. I really like that album, so I really remember.
He placed me into the Tower. I'm the voice of the Tower.
Yes.
Or voice in the Tower. He was my little big friend from Fulda, who they came to Helsinki. Actually, I met him while he came. He wanted to do. Actually, I met him in, I think, Köln in Germany, like 90, when I was doing episode promotion, and that was like a funny story because there was like a long list of interviews in my hotel room, and last guy was called Tobias Sammet, and the guy comes to my room with the CD player, says straight that I'm not a journalist, but I booked an interview with you so I can play you my music, and I want you to produce the next one, which then became Rain Glory Opera. So that's kind of unique way to get to know him. Then
didn't know that.
Yeah, we became friends, and we talked a lot. He called me. He asked a lot of stuff about merchandise and publishing and things, and then he got this brilliant idea for this metal opera, this Avantasia. And he got Kiske there and stuff, and I think I played some solos on the second one. I think.
Yes.
And on the first one, I think I'm just the voice in the tower.
Maybe there is a solo in the tower too. For sure, you are the voice.
Yeah, but I don't sing in that. People think I'm singing, but I'm not. It's just the voice.
Yeah, it's just the voice.
It's like or whatever. I don't remember what it is.
Maybe we can find the lyrics and you can do it again.
Something like I don't remember, seven.
7 Angels.
Maybe, I don't remember, something like that.
We are the 7 judges.
Yeah. I mean, Tobias Sammet is a really talented guy. I could see that hunger, that he had this spark, and I knew he's going to go far, and of course he did. I mean, Avantasia is huge. It really blossomed, and he deserves that. He really does, because he's a really talented guy. He's serious. He's funny though, but about his music, he's not kidding ever. So he's dead serious about that. Everything else is a comedian. I remember he was singing on this New Era record, and there was this song called Glorious and Divine, which is about female beauty products, actually. I went to see what is in the, in the whatever it was, like, those female things. And I wrote a song about that. And when he saw the lyrics, he said, I can't sing this. Like, if you read the lyrics of that song, they are super funny. And then I told him, okay, so you're the guy who's singing Lavatory Love Machine, and you cannot sing my song. So, and he did, of course, he sang the song with such a conviction that.
Very funny guy. Yeah, thank you for this.
Yeah.
So funny question from Enzo. If I ask you to play the song Stratosphere now, would you be able to play it?
Yes, and yes.
Short answer is yes. Claudio 65. What do you think about 3 guitar players who are not with us anymore, like Randy Rhoads, David Pritchard from Armored Saints, and Chris Oliva, Savatage?
Well, I don't know David, but I know Randy and I know Chris. And Randy Rhoads was really true original guy. I mean, he was one of those great guitar players who completely created his own style. And you can really immediately say who it is, from the tone and from phrasing and all this stuff. Everybody knows it's Randy Rhoads. So he really left his mark. I mean, the way he was constructing solos, composing the solos, and I know that they were called triple tracking. He recorded his solos 3 times. The same things 3 times.
Yeah.
So especially on Diary of the Madman, it's really all over the board. I mean, the solos, really, really amazing. Chris was again the same. I mean, but he was totally different. He was more like this kind of I think more like in a way, I think it sounded to me like he was not constructing his solos. Like, I don't think he was composing them. I think he was improvising a lot. And Hall of the Mountain King is a great record. I mean, absolutely. And I met John Oliver. Actually, I had an honor to meet the guy in Germany.
Yeah.
They called him Mountain King. And
yeah.
I remember I went to the breakfast and I saw the guy. And I introduced myself. Hello, Good morning, Mr. Mountain King. And he just said, good morning. He responded to this.
Yeah. I hope they're gonna release a new material, because he said recently that he's got 50 songs already or something.
Really?
Like that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a very productive guy. I mean,
yeah.
And the Armored Saint, I never really listened to. I don't even know their music, so I can't comment.
Yeah. Another question from Boomy. I see a lot of spiritual symbols in your albums, like Stratovarius albums, like the Tree of Life or the Infinite Symbol. Is there a reason for it?
What is Tree of Life? I don't know what that is.
Tree of Life? You don't know what? Are you kidding? No.
No, Infinity Symbol is, of course, everybody knows.
Yeah.
I mean, that record, it was just record number 8.
Yeah.
So what I did, I saw the symbol and I turned it up. So that's number 8. And then I had this idea to introduce like spiritual world and material world, and the dolphins are representing human beings, dying and born again. And then I showed the cover to Jörg Michael and said, you cannot do this. We're a metal band. And we all remember the story so well, because he then had this idea because he was responsible for merchandising, so of Stratovarius. So he came up with this brilliant idea he made this called Evil Dolphin t-shirt with like black and white, like dolphin, and nobody bought that.
Okay,
Nobody bought the shirt. And then I think now he says, yeah, it's a great cover, because there's a lot of ideas for merch, a lot of objects and stuff. So we read a lot of things about that. And I mean, that is just, I am a spiritual guy, although even to say that is arrogant, because spiritual people never say it. They don't need to say this because the egoistic reasons. You say many things like I'm this and that, I know this and that. I met this, Hare Krishna, these kind of guys. I met a couple of them in Midsummer a couple of weeks ago in the party. And this one guy everybody was just having beer and he was just lecturing everybody. But I could hear that he was kind of angrily like saying things that he was just, obviously he read from some book. And I just told him, when you tell me these things being absolutely calm, then I believe you. But now you're just quoting phrases from books. That's not spirituality at all. I mean, that is a very private thing. It's nothing to do with religion. To me, nothing at all. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's a connection between me and the universe, and nobody can say anything to this. It's my thing.
Yes, it's a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we have questions from Tito Tensai. For Timo, the snare on episode album is great, I think. Why didn't continue with that sound for the rest of the album? Did you use two different snares?
It's the same sound.
I think it's the same, right?
I mean, the thing is that people hear sounds in a very different way. I mean, you play a sound to 10 people, and everybody hears a different thing. We always use the same drum samples for Stratovarius. It's always the same. Every record has the same sample. I mean, every record has Jörg Michael's snare and sample 50%. There's two. There's original one and then sample, and it's always the same.
Okay.
Of course, it varies from song to song. There's like reverbs used, gated snare used, room mics. Every record is a bit different, but the basic thing is the same. And every record since episode has a really good sound that I know, because we really made sure of that. If you want to hear bad snare sound, listen to Saint Anger.
Well, we all know that.
Yes.
It's a paddle thing. It's like a racket.
I think it has no snare. I think they took it off, so it's just bang.
Yeah. It's a pan. Bang, 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 bang.
Like a trash can.
Trash can, yeah.
There's this funny photo of Lars Ulrich playing a trash cans with Tama signature series. It's in internet. if you Google Lars Ulrich trash can, you can get this photo. Trash can and Tama.
I'm sure there are lots of memes. With
yeah. That is famous.
Have you ever met him? Lars?
No, I haven't met him. I don't want to meet him.
Okay.
I prefer to meet Hetfield.
Why? Is there a reason for?
Well, I think Ulrich is this kind of guy who was really, I think, when I see his interviews and stuff, and I just so like the way he is. I don't know, you never know how the person really is, okay, when you meet them.
Yeah.
Some people have completely different image in public than when you actually meet the guy. So I know that it's impossible to meet these guys because their management, and same with Maiden, you could never. We've played festivals with them, but you don't even see the guys. They keep everybody really, you play and you go out from the backstage.
Okay.
That's the way.
That's kind of weird because you should meet backstage, right? It should be easy to say hi.
Yeah, if you want this, I'm sure you can arrange. If Metallica wants to meet people, they're there, but I guess they don't want. I don't know. I met Pantera guys. They were really nice.
Like more open to.
Yeah, I mean they didn't give a fuck. They were.
Yeah.
They were like these anarchists.
They weren't that huge. If we're talking about Metallica and Maiden, they are another.
Yeah, I know, but even Pantera was in its heyday. It was a huge band. I mean, totally original.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the band itself. I mean, in terms of how big they are in terms of success.
Right. I think Pantera was 1 million. They sold millions of records.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I saw them in Italy in Gods of Metal. So
Yes.
99, they were there, and we shared the same backstage. And Jens stole their beer, so Anselmo was pissed off about that.
So for the snare, 0-0. Can you tell memories of Alexi Laiho? The story when you first met him. Were you surprised of his skills back then?
He was my neighbor, actually.
Your neighbor?
Yeah, he was really close. I mean, everybody knows how he was as a guitar player. I don't think anybody needs to tell the guy, I mean, how he was. I mean, he was truly original and amazing technique. I met him many times. I mean, I remember this time when I was in this Nightwish party, like Platinum record party, and he comes to me, and everybody was there. And he was having troubles with Synergy and Bottom because he was playing in 2 bands. And he just asked me, like, I don't know what to do. You know, what should I do? I said, look, man, you're Alexi Laiho, you're fucking best guitar player of the world. Why should you just listen to your heart? What do you want to do? I told him that, and then years after, he told me, I haven't forgotten what you told me. There's a very cool picture of me and him and Roope Latvala, this another player, with only our underwears in some Helsinki. Somebody took a picture. We're just pants down, drunk, all 3 of us, and it's really funny.
Can I find it anywhere?
I don't know. I mean, I have to ask. It's a German photographer, Alex Kuhr. He took this picture, I think.
Okay.
I think it might be in the net. It might be there.
Okay.
I have like orange underwear. That's really funny. I have orange underwear.
Orange.
Yeah, orange color.
Okay, I will look for it.
Yeah.
This user is XX21st something. What's your favorite guitar solo? I don't know if he is talking about your solos or, well, reply the way you want.
I think my solo could be a million light years away. I think that's a good one. It's a good picking and constructing solos. I mean, I would say anything from Gary Moore of Corridors of Power and Victims of the Future. That guy really had it. I mean, his intonation, his vibrato, his feel is out of this world. You know. So anybody who wants to hear and learn to play really emotional ways, so should listen to Gary Moore's 2 albums, those Corridors of Power and Victims of the Future.
Okay.
I mean, anything Randy Rhoads did, I mean, Over the Mountain it's fantastic solo. I mean, it's mind-blowing how he did it.
Yeah. Goodbye to Romance too.
Yeah, I think he was more defining his style on the next one because he's kind of a searching. He's not that precise because he was also at least double tracking the solos, but then he did 3 times in Diary. So in Blizzard, he's still searching because it's a bit off sometimes the solos. But in Diary, it's totally perfect. It's nothing, you know. You cannot hear it's 3 guitars. It's 1.
Okay. Tito Tensai, the Infinite album has more loudness than other albums and sounds more powerful. Why don't you use that sound on Avalon's album?
That's a very simple money. Yeah, because you have to understand that when you record in a studio like Finvox, where we did most of this, like 500 euros a day rent. And yeah, exactly. Second,
I put it live because it's kind of related.
Yeah, the second one is horrible. I mean, I really don't know what happened. Sometimes you can't just, you know, something happens, and in that one I really didn't succeed. But you know, like I said, Finvox is like 500 euros a day. So when you're there like 2 months, everybody can count the budget, and it's all about the budget. I mean, Avalons have like maybe 10% of that budget, you know, and that is directly proportional to the sound, the quality of the sound.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mauro, that's in Italian, so I'm gonna translate it for you. Some funny facts about Destiny. He loves this album. And what do you think about Italian power metal bands like Secret Sphere, if you know them?
Mm-hmm. Anecdotes of it's not funny at all because it's a divorce album.
Yeah.
It's not much fun to divorce somebody. So, and that's just I was in a dark place and I used that mindset to write songs out of it. So it's a lot to do with my father as well. The process of saying goodbye to things, and there's not much positivity on that record. But then Infinity is totally different. It's totally positive. I have heard Secret Sphere. I mean, although he produced Return to Eden and this new Avalon, so I think he's a talented guy. He's a great player and he's a good producer. I mean, there's nothing more to say. He's a really good guy and he's a funny guy. He's a brilliant guy. I mean, I don't listen to that much metal actually, so I cannot really comment so much. I'm not so familiar. I've heard their new record. He sent me the files and I think it's melodic, good stuff, but I don't listen to that so much.
Okay, just because you said that, we have a question related from Bumi. Which other genres of music do you listen when you're not listening to rock?
Well, I love Coldplay.
Coldplay.
Yeah, I love them. I love the new higher
That's
higher power. Higher Power is a great song. I mean, they were very courageous to use Max Martin for producing this.
Okay.
Because that's like going to Britney Spears or Backstreet Boys, which this guy did. And I love U2. I love ABBA. I love Beatles. I'm a music lover. I have no boundaries except this rap that I really don't like because to me it's just rhythms and no melodies.
Melodies.
I'm a melody guy totally. So, and my music is really simple. So, I started listening to Beatles when I was like 3. And I did this test. There was like there's Spotify. There's 100 Beatles songs. At least I know how to sing with lyrics. 93 songs out of 100.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I can. Somebody puts any track. I don't even know what's coming. I can sing it, and I know the lyrics.
Okay. Well, you grew up with that.
Yeah, with ABBA from the 100, I could only do like 71. It's pathetic.
It's not pathetic. There is a cover by,
there are many covers.
Yeah, by Tobias Sammet. It was with I don't know if with Avantasia or that guy. Probably Avantasia as a B-side.
Okay.
Lay all
along with me. Yeah, that's one of those.
Yeah, it's a good cover.
These guys, they don't even know how to read music. ABBA guys.
Yeah.
They wrote all those songs without the knowledge of any chords or notes. Just like that,
They managed to, so that's not important.
My always said you don't need to be able to write good songs. You don't need to know the theory at all.
Sometimes I think the musicians don't know.
Well, I think sometimes I think it's even bad because you're stuck on a routine in many ways. You're stuck on a routine, and I mean, I'm aware of musical theory, but I don't think about it when I write songs. I've never done.
It depends, maybe from the kind of. If I remember well, Kiss doing no music. It depends even on the genre of what you're playing. So maybe if it's just guitar riffs and simple songs.
ABBA pop songs. I don't think the Beatles were thinking about E minor when they were composing those songs. And they did like 300 songs in 7 years, and most of them were hits. So there you go.
Question from Kiske THX. What does you think about Kiske performance in the last Helloween record, if you listen to it?
Well, Kiske is always top of the notch. He's the best in this. I think he hasn't lost his voice. I think he has the same voice still.
I agree.
I would like to have heard better melodies, even if I'm shooting my leg here, but I'm kind of disappointed of some of the stuff. like the opener. I don't like that at all. I think it's sound like Skylark to me.
Skylar.
Mm-hmm.
What's
You know,
Skylar?
you should know. You're from Italy.
Skylar.
Skylark.
Skylark. No, sorry, that doesn't ring a bell. Skylark.
Maybe you do a little investigation.
Okay, Skylark. Okay, I will look into it.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I mean, the record is, I think Hansen wrote one song and Kiske nothing, and mostly Andy Darius, I guess, and Vaika too. So, I mean, I like that record, but I think I like this Pumpkins United better, the previous one.
Yeah, my opinion, I recorded a review, is that I was expecting something more like the Keepers, but not in terms of, the quality. Here's a, they are 30 years older than the Keepers, so I don't expect them to be the same. But with those kind of happy melodies, or instead it's kind of dark.
It's kind of dark. It's kind of dark. I mean, that's another thing, how people hear the sound, because some people say it's fantastic sound. I don't think so. I mean, to me, it's not a good sound. That record has no good sound for me. I mean, as a producer, when I listened to it, I know they went the analog way, and they had to go, I guess. I think they did Time of the Oath in the same studio and stuff. And when you go the analog way, normally it means bad sound for some reason. When I listen to this kind of soft, muddy sound to me, that people think it's analog, but it is not. Because if you listen to Episode, it's totally analog. There was no Pro Tools, but it's really bright. It's really sharp. It's really, it's totally different sound, but it's also analog. So just as a funny comparison, you might want to listen to these two records, to see the difference in the sound, but they're both analog.
Yeah.
Last,
I think that Dave Grohl is very good. Well, he works with good people, I think. And there is a what's the name? Sound City. Have you listened to that? That album is Sound City is a sort of soundtrack of the Sound City studios, and they were demolished after that album, I think. And that album.
I like to hear different kind of productions, because I, as a producer, I can sort of hear how they did it, and like what Metallica did with Black Album. It's like 9 months of work.
Yeah, mind blowing. That.
Oh yeah. I mean that kind of sound. Exactly. So we tried to do something like that with Elements. So we hired a PA for the drums in the studio, and we put drums to PA. Recorded everything through PA with drums, and get this really huge sound. Because the songs were more slow, then you can do this kind of stuff.
Okay. Lots of questions here. What is the favorite Stratovarius song? Timo's favorite Stratovarius. Well, it's difficult to. If you don't want to answer.
It varies. I think it varies a lot. I think I really like the song Elements, because that is also lyric-wise. I took 1 month just to write lyrics, and now that I look at who wrote the songs, it's only me. and also lyrics, only Eagleheart is me and Kotipelto. So I guess that's kind of maybe dictatorial. I don't know, but that time was like somehow I really knew that I want to do this symphonic stuff with the guys, and I went along, and I spent a lot of time for lyrics, and the production was like 3 months, and it was like fucking astronomical amount of money we put into that, because there's full symphony orchestra and choir. So that probably Elements, I really like the song, because it also has my message there, which is like pretty much non-violent, like a hippie, really hippie stuff. Actually, I'm a hippie.
Can you, from I don't know how to pronounce his name, can you tell something about your tattoos? Is that Black Diamond?
That's Elena. Yeah, this is Black Diamond. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I just did an interview with this Finnish guy, this Inferno magazine. It was like 2 hours, and there were like funny things happening. Like maybe sometimes some people ask me, "Who are you?" You know, they don't know who I am. But then I sometimes say, "I'm the guy who wrote Black Diamond."
Yeah,
Like
I think it's
funny. Yeah, I think a funny way to say it.
Yeah. So, Timo, do you miss the old days, the endless touring, being young and ambitious?
I'm still young. I had never been ambitious though. I don't have this. I don't know what it is. We all set out to do the best record we could, always, you know. Of course, I miss those tours. I miss the guys. I miss the friendship. I miss these stupid jokes of Jens. I miss the hangovers together. I miss flights. I miss everything. You know, it's the greatest time ever. You know, like 3,000 shows, 55 countries. And, you know, there are a lot of funny things, but maybe we should write a book together someday, because they're like first when we went to Mexico City for the first time, and we are landing, and we see this endless houses, you know, like 10, 20 kilometers, only houses. And we're like, what is this? And then we go to the hotel, and then somebody comes to me and says, okay, we go to pyramids. You want to come? I'm like, Egypt? We have a show tomorrow. Because I didn't know that they have this, whatever, Tetracts and pyramids outside of the Mexico City, the sun and moon temples.
Yeah.
They have pyramids, these guys. I didn't know. I thought, you want to go to Egypt to see the pyramids? These kind of things. Yeah.
There's bringing up your apology note again. Your voice broke midway earlier, and would love to hear you complete what you were saying.
I don't remember what I said, but I'm just saying that when I wrote that, I started to cry. It was like, I think it was the night. I was like, whatever, 1, 2 a.m. And I wrote it. I didn't think about it. It just came out. And then I read it. And I can do this. I mean, I really think like this. I feel this, you know. And Jari also cried. He told me, Jari, sorry, Jari, but you're a big bass guy and tough and everything, but you have a soft side. So this kind of, you know, released, at least in me and in him too, I guess, sort of like pent up energy about these things that had to be said somehow, you know, expressed. And I think I'm speaking also, like I said, filling the vacuum of some questions that Stratovarius fans maybe have asked in their minds. What is going on, you know, what happened, and at least in a level that there has been going on stuff that has to be apologized, and there has to be amends made. When you hurt somebody, you hurt your own soul, and you hurt yourself, actually, as much as you hurt the other person too. And when you know this, you gotta apologize. That's so simple. And but it's never simple to make an honest, humble apology.
Yeah.
And as a community, when I read about it and I talked to some people, it's good for the community to see this. And I see from the positive comments that it's really like this. I don't really care when they start praising me, because I wish I wouldn't do those things, so I wouldn't have to apologize. Of course, I would treat my brother as he needs to be treated, with respect and love. You know, that's what I mean. I'm not proud of those things, but you know, that's when you make this apology. And in public, it's not easy to do. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you again. Fabio Battaglia, as a producer, what do you think of digital home production? Can it ever replace studio?
No, it cannot. I hear so much of what I call bedroom recordings that sound horrible to me. I mean, in a skillful hands, you can record, for example, vocals in bedroom, yes, guitars, everything, even drums. But to mix, that's a whole different ballgame, you know, because that's when you really decide. There's nothing that has the depth and warmth and the bigness of big analog desk like SSL, which we mixed all those Strato records. That's like €1 million desk. So how can you replace something with like €500 Tascam? It just doesn't happen. And then there are this lot of, I mean, I love digital because I love Pro Tools because it's a cool way to get back to the recordings quickly and edit stuff. But it has downsides too because there's a lot of these things like, oh man, you just edit together this, we have enough material to edit. So what happened to the performance? Why can't you just play it? Why can't I have complete takes of voice? Maybe a verse. I hear it. No, let's do it again. No, just punch in the word. But that's a downside to it as well. And I mean, digital is now so good that it sounds a lot like analog, but something is missing in the low end. I don't hear that depth. I really don't. Most people don't really care. I care.
Well, nowadays, if I see just people listening to music with a laptop or cheap.
Yeah, but even then you hear the difference. If you hear episode of Visions, even with laptop, it sounds great.
Okay.
Because we used every speaker to test the sound, and very small ones too. So it has to sound great in every speaker. That's the thing.
Even small ones, very small ones.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And now you can even mix through iPhone how it sounds. It has to sound good in digital. I understand we are different times. I change with the time, no problem. And I use whatever tools available to me to make a good sound. I mean, I know that digital technology tries to emulate analog a lot, but why just not use the analog then? Yeah. It's even, it's possible.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's all about the songs anyway. I mean, if you have a great song, it doesn't matter. Even if you fuck it up, it's going to be, popular.
I guess. Well, we're talking about Metallica before, and I think that Iron Maiden and the first albums that are not recorded very well, in my opinion, at least they don't sound really great, but the songs are great, so they are great.
I think they started to go better in the Number of the Beast. That has a good sound, I think.
Yes, so. But the first two.
Yeah, it's a budget again. I mean, probably did it in 4 days or something. So.
Yeah. But the songs are good, so.
Yeah, that's really about the songs. I mean, it's all about the songs. Of course, if you have a song like Final Countdown, it sounds like Sex Pistols. It's gonna sound horrible, Of course.
So, have you ever played in an orchestra? You kind of you said that.
in like a symphony orchestra.
In an orchestra.
Yeah, Stratovarius.
But yeah, you can call it an orchestra.
I don't know how to play any classical instrument.
What do you play?
I play guitar, keyboard, bass, and I sing.
Okay.
Drums, forget it.
Not for you.
Can't. No, I can't do it. I mean, I really can't.
Okay. I heard this is Elena again, or Helena. I heard Black Diamond was a dog.
Yes, it was a dog. The thing is, I was writing songs for Visions, and I had this harpsichord sound, and this dog was in the same room with me, my dog, and I started playing and he reacted, to the melody, and it was a black dog. So Black Diamond is like something that's really cool,
Sounds heavy.
Yeah, I mean, diamond is for me like something which is perfect.
Yeah.
So Black Diamonds, that's it. That's the word. You are the Black Diamond.
Good story.
Mm-hmm. It's true story.
It's a true story.
Yeah.
Can you invite Marco Hietala or Michael Sweet to your projects?
I did both of them, but they said no.
Ah, okay. So it was a no.
Yeah, Marco was just he's just resting. I mean, he's tired, I guess. He's gonna do a lot of cool stuff. Michael Sweet never answered to me when I asked him, so I don't know.
Didn't I? I didn't.
I sent an email, but never answered to me.
Okay.
I guess I'm not Christian enough.
Could be. Bodom was always a good live band. So was and still Stratovarius. Do you agree that nowadays young bands don't remember to practice enough, like you guys back?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that we never rehearsed with Stratovarius.
What do you mean you never rehearsed?
Well, we never rehearsed. I mean, why should we rehearse? I mean, we did rehearse sometimes we made demos for the record before we went to the studio. And then I think not so much. I mean, maybe one day before the tour, maximum two. But when I started, when I went to the band in '84, and after that we rehearsed 7 times a week, every day, you know. And this is the way. I mean, there is no shortcuts to the perfection. You have to do these things. Absolutely. So I don't know if I go and check out a band. I of course I can see and hear if they haven't rehearsed. But there's so much more going on than just like frantically, mechanically rehearsing the songs over and over again. It's about interaction. It's about transmitting feelings. I do some band coaching, and when I see that the band is playing in the room and nobody's listening to each other, they just play on their own world, but they're there together. But I see there's no connection. And if you're not connected with your brothers, how can you connect with the people? You know, it's just mechanically repeating the songs, and there's much more in music than that.
Yes.
You know, you kind of tune into this energy that everybody is in the same place, you know, and then you connect to that, and then you're together. This is what I try to do in every live show.
Yeah, I remember you saying something about your last tour with Stratovarius, that it was kind of that feeling that you were playing, but not.
Yeah, that was just one gig. That was
one gig.
Yeah, I don't know now. When I think about it, it might have been just sometimes monitors don't work. I mean, especially Timo had troubles with that when you don't hear yourself when you sing, you know. And I felt really sorry for him because many times people criticize his vocals, but the guy didn't hear himself. You know, the monitors suck or something, and then when you're seeing stuff like that, you cannot perform. I mean, you cannot deliver. There's no way. I mean, so sometimes it's really unfair to hear this criticism, and these guys take it really seriously many times. So, but it's always good to rehearse. But it's more than just mechanically repeating over and over again the songs. You know, that's what I'm saying.
I totally agree with you. Music is not perfection. So.
Yeah.
Avalon 4 is a wonderful album. I especially love Another Day There. It reminds me of ABBA. The song's Time, This Time and I Just Collapse also seem pop. Am I right?
I gladly leave the categorizing to other people what it is. I have no idea what it is.
What do you mean?
I don't categorize music. I don't have to think, you know, I really don't put a stamp on the stuff. I mean, I'm not that kind of a guy. I don't know what it is, and I don't have to know. I leave that to the marketing people.
Yeah, spontaneous. You don't care about labels.
Yeah, with all due respect, I have never thought about, for example, Stratovarius as power metal. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what is power metal. I have no idea who defined what it is and who has the knowledge to know anything about music to say, I know how things are. You know?
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah, it's more, you know.
I write songs. That's what I do. I transmit feelings and emotions through lyrics and music, and that's what I do. Whatever it is, I have no idea.
There is a good one. Could you sing one of your favorite songs for us right now?
I'm really sorry. Boomy? What is this name? Indian. When I got finally to my car, I took a taxi and there was an Indian guy with this this thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, cool guy. He was like, I met some people from Pakistan yesterday. Now I met Indian, and they're like enemies, so to speak, within the India, because it's like whatever religion normally.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna sing I'm gonna do like a full tour next year because it's 20th anniversary of Visions and 30th anniversary of Twilight Time. So we are planning to do. I play the whole Visions record and then I sing part of the Twilight Time myself. So then, you know.
Okay.
I don't have that much guts to start singing now. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
She added something that comes from your heart right now.
This girl doesn't leave me be.
Yeah, I would love to sing some old Stratovarius tunes. Yeah, I used to.
I will next year.
Okay.
But
yeah,
that
I will
means
be there.
you got to come to the show. So.
Will you come to London?
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go to the United States in October for 3 weeks.
Okay.
I have tour there.
Okay. Am I alone? He disappeared apparently. I don't know what happened. Okay, guys. If you have any other, okay, is here again at the stream?
I'm here. It's
Yes.
I went away when I said United States. Anyway, 3 weeks is planned with this guy called Neil Turbin. He was Anthrax singer before.
Yeah.
It's the original singer, I guess, original singer of Anthrax. And I'm gonna do tour with this guy, and then I do gigs in Mexico. There's gig in Chile, couple of gigs, 3 gigs, Uruguay, Paraguay. Then Brazil is gonna be March next year, and full Latin American tour also in March. So a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. You get compliments from Mango Bish. Your voice is super cool, Timo. Hope you sing again today. Someday.
Thank you very much.
Today. So, did you get back your guitar from your friend? Because 1 week ago you told me that you currently don't have any guitar where you live.
Yeah, I have like Stratocaster, but it's not mine.
Okay.
I gotta buy a guitar before I go back to Mexico. Because I don't really have.
What will you buy?
I think I want to buy Tokai because they're like good guitars. Just change the pickups and they're like Fenders. They're really good. Tokai is like Japanese guitar.
Okay. What's your favorite neck to play?
This.
That's violent.
Like I told you last time, you're not gonna get into the arguments with me about guitars. It's really boring.
That's alright.
My favorite is wooden neck.
Okay, wood. Not plastic or iron.
No. Do they have?
There was some. I saw some strange stuff. Maybe there was something with. I can't remember the material, but it was. I'm sure that there are strange things.
I should tell you that we have 8 minutes left, and I have to go. So.
Okay. Last question from 00. While we're talking about guitars, can you recommend a good and cheap multi-effect pedal for guitar?
I think Zoom has good stuff.
Zoom 505.
I don't know, but I know I had a lot of their stuff before. I think Yamaha has good stuff too. I mean, it's really not what you play with, but how you play and how you know whatever you want to do with your hands and your body and your music and your heart.
Yeah.
Heart doesn't really care about Yamaha. You know, if your heart wants to sing through a guitar, it finds a way. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Fabio was saying that it was carbon fiber.
I thought that's like more like skiing.
Skiing. Yes. Last one again from Helena. I like your attitude to music genres, no particular restriction. You write with your heart, and that's appealing. Will there be Avalon 5?
Well, thank you for these words. To cut the long story short, no.
Okay. Any reason, or just want to?
Well, we talked with Frontiers about that because it was supposed to be trilogy anyway, and then I said I don't think there's ever been any trilogy that's 4 parts.
Okay.
Because now it's number 4, and then to make a 5th one, and also that I want to have more control in this. So our interests are kind of colliding with Frontiers. So we respectfully talked about it, and we said it's better that we just don't do it anymore. You know.
Yeah. And now you are with Unique, yeah? For your...
Yeah, I am free actually. I have no label. I mean, he's helping me out. If you want that guy, so
Mr. Jack. Hi to Mr. Jack.
Yeah, Mr. Jack. I mean, whatever is his real name, but
Jack.
Salvatore, I think his name.
Salvatore.
Yeah. So Salvatore is a very humble guy. He's approaching me like 6 months ago, I guess. He doesn't speak English, so it's sometimes a bit difficult with him because I think he's using a translator. No problem, but he's just this kind of a guy who lets me have the control because he doesn't want anything from me, you know. And this is very rare. Because most of the people who are in touch with me want something from me, you know.
Yeah.
And just, you know, but I am free. I have no manager. I have no record label. I'm totally free.
Okay.
That freedom is for me the most important thing.
Good. Cool.
Mm.
Okay, Timo, I'll leave you with your plans. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
But thank you again, really, for
Yes,
being here.
wonderful.
And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the questions. I think they were really good questions.
Always a pleasure to answer these because it's also correct something and, you know, to talk about these things. And there's so much false information in the internet.
Yeah.
When you actually hear and see, it's really different.
Yeah.
You know, these things. So I just want to tell everybody I'm writing songs and I'm going back to Mexico next month and do the gigs and go from there. You know, the caravan goes on.
Yes. The show must go on.
The show must go on. One more thing, last thing before I go, because you said show must go on. Everybody should now go to Spotify and listening to Show Must Go On. Because what Freddy is actually saying, people think he sings. Does anybody know what we are looking for in the lyrics?
Yeah.
He sings, does everybody know what we are leaking for?
Really?
Yes, listen to it. Listen to it many times when you hear. That means basically like lick ass, you know, lick somebody's ass. And when you die, when you know you're dying, because he knew he's dying when they did that record, you don't give a fuck anymore, you know. I think it's that little bit of his way, ironically say, does anybody know what you are looking for here? You know.
I'm gonna listen to it straight after this because it's one of my favorite songs, so it's a kind of revelation to me.
It is right there.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Welcome.
Thank you again.
We keep in touch. Thank you. You and
keep
me.
in touch, of course. Thank you. Have a great night. Thank you guys for being here with us, for all your questions, and see you next time. Rock and roll.
Bye-bye. Rock and roll. Bye-bye.